What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It is episode number 60 returns today with the second episode of season 7. We're on the back of joining Bologna and making 3 new signings. The rebuild has begun here in Italy, and today going to play through most of the remainder of the summer window, and with 110 mil in the budget on the back of the monster sale of Koleosho to Barcelona. Yeah, buckle up. We're going to make a lot of signings today, no doubt. When you look at the team right now, obviously the 3 players you've brought in. Moses coming back from Ipswich Town to reunite with me. Cesar Casadei on a free. And also Kayode. All 3 really good value for money deals here. Again, it's a small squad. The board have said this season, get us back in the Champions League, so top 4 in this area. Coppa Italia, I'll give it a go, trying to go far, but yeah, not really going to be too concerned if we don't. My main aim is just getting back into Champions League, but also we can do that by winning the Europa League, which we're going into as well, and that'll be my aim too. So before we do make some signings though, we've got some more bids coming in here, and some big ones as well, including from Baldursson, from Bologna, from Cagliari, sorry. I always get Bologna and Cagliari mixed up, but from Cagliari. Brennan Johnson, as we know, that move to Milan is imminent. And a big bid, or 2 bids coming in from our star goalkeeper here, Agarizabala. Plus João Bellini wanted by Roma. Again, she's going to set us straight off the bat. But I'm not against letting this guy go, even though he is a class keeper at 85, rated and only 29. I'm not against letting him go, and I might even let him go back to Spain as well. He's worth more than 25 mil, no doubt about that. To me, this guy's probably worth about 40 mil in modern day football, possibly even more than that, to be fair. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say just give us straight up 40 million pounds. He's still got 2 years left on his deal, but we should have enough money to find a replacement. Let's go 42.5 mil actually. 42.5 mil. We should have enough to find a replacement for him. And yeah, I want a younger goalkeeper as we continue to try and make this squad much younger for the new rebuild era. Yep, there we go. First sale of the episode, and I doubt it will be the only one as well. Brennan Johnson off to AC Milan. Would have liked to have kept him, to be fair. 29 years old, so not exactly too old. Could still grow a little bit, but also 83 overall too. But AC Milan, bigger club. And like I said, man, it's a rebuild. No one is off limits here, so don't mind letting him go. With our budget rising even more so now, I've got to make some signings, man. I can't wait to get to work. You know, I said I want to make this side younger, and there's several talents I've got on the shortlist here, a few of which were relegated last season. And there's a 20-year-old Armenian midfielder here with Palermo called Tigran Sarkisian. Not sure whose region he is of, but this guy is a young talent, looks fantastic, man. With Palermo getting relegated to the Serie B last season, 86 stamina. He's rapid with tremendous balance. I always find that balance, to me, is one of the more underrated stats in FC. But technically, look at this. 88 long pass, 86 short pass. He can shoot from range as well. I must say, going down to the Serie B, he's too good for that. And again, approaching 80 or just 20 years old, man, I've got to pick this guy up. Yeah, I want to bring in some youth players, because that's the one thing I would say about our time with Ipswich Town. We didn't really utilise the youth players at all, because, well, unfortunately, as we know, youth players sometimes can be hit and miss. Sometimes in saves, you hit the jackpot and you've just got like a star-studded group of youth players. Sometimes it's slim pickings, and that was definitely the case with Ipswich Town. Moses made it, of course. His brother David grew well, and also we had Nicholas Price out on loan, but sadly, it never really materialised the way we wanted it to. Okay, I wonder if they want one of our young Deadwood players here who aren't really going to do much for us. Okonkwo, could possibly give them him. I mean, why not, right? It'll be Serie B level, and then we'll go in just over market valuation as well. Again, I want to make sure we get rid of the players here that we're not going to use and are on contracts that we don't want to pay out. Not Ducore, though. Well, I can't give them that centre-half, Motalese, because he's homegrown, so I need him for the registration rules. I'm not sure if we have 4. I think we might just have 3, but Marco Esteban, 23 years old, and I think we're okay for centre halves now that we've brought in a Cole. So yeah, why don't we try and give them Esteban again? Plus we'll go to around 22 mil plus Marco, and they are going to say yeah, they'll take him. Plus a little bit more money as well. I can't see him getting much game time in this team, so might as well swap him out to soften the transfer fee. And like I said, every deal we do needs to represent good value for money. I would definitely say this one does. This young Armenian talent looks seriously special. Yup, now 7 seasons in, so I'd imagine it's probably a little too late to start youth scouting, pick up players, get them through the system, and then turn them into stars as well. But thankfully for us, there's some ready-made ones all across European football right now. When I came to Bologna, the first thing I always do is look at the teams who were relegated at the end of the season and see if they've got any talents I could snap up. When I saw this guy went down with Palermo last season, I was like, oh yeah, he's coming back to the Serie A, and he's coming here for the rebuild as well. I must say, I'm really excited about him, and I think this guy could turn into a superstar midfielder in a few years' time. So welcome to Bologna, Tigran, Sarkisian. I'll need to change the boots. Actually, let me do that now. Yeah, I have this rule that like when a youth player comes out of the academy, I've got to give them boots of the same colour but branded as the default ones they had. So we had green. These boots have got a bit of green. Some Preds here got a bit of green, so I'll give them the green. With white, and I like the high socks, I must say. Maybe I'll give them some wrist tape or something, you know, repping Armenia. I always worry about his socks. It's like, is it gonna look cool or is it gonna look stupid? I don't know. It's not that bad. I mean, the orange, it's more of an amber. The flag of Armenia, it's more amber. But can we give him maybe like it says red, blue, and amber. But I think that just looks a bit stupid. But it's a good idea. But I'll give him the amber wrist tape. Go on, let him have it. But it's like, for me, I just, you know, youth player customization, it needs to be done. But I just wish there were more options, you know. They've had the same options for as long as I can remember, really. But anyway, yeah, Tigran Sarkisian is in, and exciting prospect tag who's still getting better. 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills. This kid's a baller. This kid is an absolute baller. I love the stamina. The strength is getting better as well. It won't be long till that's 82. So physically, it'll be green across the board, and technically as well. There isn't really a weak spot. He can defend, he can attack, he can go forward. To me, as a box-to-box, he looks absolutely brilliant. So I might just keep him on balance, to be fair, and let all his stats go up naturally. We've got some class CMs here, but he's going to need to play. He cannot sit on the bench. He's too good for that. There's a couple more bids coming here. El Azuzi, wanted by Sheffield United. Totally fine with me. And Bellini, now wanted by Torino alongside Roma. So I'll let him have his choice there. But yeah, 4 more departures due. And I think it'll be time to... oh no, Ipswich have sold Adley. Guys. He was the man. What a shame. It's always so frustrating when you leave a team and literally instantly, come on, we all see it, don't we? Like instantly, as soon as you leave that club, they gut the whole squad, man. And they just completely ruin it. It's like, look how they massacred my boy. It's like, that took me years to build and you've already started tearing it apart, the foundations. But you can't do anything about that. It's just like all that work, all those things I did, all these years. Why are AI clubs, why are AI managers so bad at like building squads, but also retaining like really good cores you've had, man, honestly? And there we go, all the big sales going through at once. First, Agrazabala off to Real Betis for £42.5 million. So definitely going to need to sign a new starting goalkeeper no matter what. But also, El Azuzi off to the Blades for £4.2 million. We see Baldurson also leads to Cagliari for 3.3. And also, Bellini is off to AS Roma for £6 million. So we've raised almost $250 million with the 9 departures this season in the transfer window. So that's how we've managed to get our budget up, and now it's just shy of £178 million, £177 million with wage budget considerations, maybe about 165, but it's time now. It's time. We've been adding to the team gradually, bit after bit, player after player, but now we've got zero depth whatsoever. We can barely make it. In fact, we can literally only just make a bench. It's time. It is time to rebuild completely, to add to the 4 signings we made so far. Let's go. All right, well, first thing we need is definitely a fullback because we've got no backup right back at all. So there's a couple of names on the shortlist, including the ex-Fiorentina fullback Michael Kayode. He's left to Brentford in this save. He's not the quickest and he's not the strongest as well, which does concern me a lot, with reasonably low stamina. But technically, this guy's fantastic. Look at the stats going forward here. 88 dribbling, 86 ball control, and 80 crossing as well. And his defensive stats aren't that bad. At 26, I wouldn't say he's done growing yet. So I'm going to pick him up and try and work on the strength here. He'll be a backup fullback to Rico Lewis, so long as we keep the ex-Man City man, which hopefully we'll be able to do. So yeah, I'm not going to be too concerned as a backup right back, and yeah, he's not going to cost too much money either as well. So once again, still, despite all the money we've got, still looking for good value for money deals. And again, the lack of strength, the lack of stamina, slight concern, but 26, still quite a young man, lots of time to work on that. Wanted an important squad role, that's something I'll have to be mindful of, but does agree to take a massive pay cut, and I certainly approve of that. So yeah, a year older than Rico Lewis, a few ratings lower, but as a backup, could still see him getting some meaningful minutes, no doubt about that. And with those stats going forward, I must say, as a wing back, if only he was quicker, man, he'd be phenomenal. So yeah, welcome to Bologna, Michael Kayode. And yeah, if he was just a bit quicker, I mean, he would be a heck of a wingback. And it's a shame as well that at 26, he's kind of capped out. Again, you can still kickstart the growth with enough game time. But I mean, the thing is, he's not slow. But I guess now we've kind of gotten used to like rapid players everywhere, you know. But even so, the strength is a slight concern. But other than that, technically, this guy, especially going forward, I could definitely see this guy being what you call like a defense-minded winger, no doubt about that. I could easily play him on that flank, even though again the finishing is low, but the crossing. How does he? That's the one thing. How does he have 50 vision and 80 crossing? So. Like, what does he do with his eyes closed? I mean, like, is he just hit and hope, but he just gets lucky with the balls landing on the forward's head? It's a bit... so lopsided. One thing's for sure, I'm definitely bringing this guy back. Yep, we've been talking about those homegrown players that came through the academy for the squad registration rules. This is one of them, Antonio Raimondo. Bologna Academy grad, has moved on to Getafe in the save in Madrid. But at 26 years old, in the prime of his career, developed at 82 overall, and could definitely battle with Wahi for a starting striker role as well. Great pace, strength isn't bad either. Low stamina, yep, a little bit of concern, but look at the poacher stat here. Attacking position 90 with 84 finishing and 90 ball control. Oh yeah, Miroslav Klose approves of that. So yep, let's bring him back to Bologna. I would imagine this guy probably has maybe low to mid 80 potential, maybe like 84 possibly. I don't think he's done growing just yet regardless, but yeah, great young talent, really solid young player, and for sure I want him back in my team to again battle for a starting spot in the front three. We should be able to get it for again just over the valuation. We're going to go £32 million. Still leaves us with well over 100 mil to play with, and this would be a great buyback from the Spanish side. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but it does seem as though players nowadays are capping out a lot earlier than they normally would. But maybe I overestimated his potential, because I thought he'd have a bit more than this. It seems as though he's done growing for now. Regardless, he's still got enough ability to compete with Wahi for a starting striker role, and he'll be returning as our number 10. Welcome back to Bologna, Antonio Raimondo on a 5-year deal. Again, 6 foot, 26, so in the prime of his career right now. And again, that's why I'm quite surprised he's not got any more room to grow. I would have thought he'd still have, maybe like +1, +2 still available. But to be fair, the stats even now are fantastic. So yeah, and I say this as well, like when a player does appear capped out like this, you can restart it, but it needs a full season of work. You know, you got to have a full season of consistent game time, always getting the minutes and performing well with good form too. If you have that, then for the following season, not always, but sometimes they can restart the growth. Even so, coming off the bench or starting, undecided for now. We'll probably rotate the minutes with Eli this season. And there's 2 more bids coming here. Adley is wanted back in France by Nice. That's no, I had no plans to sell him. But that's a tough one. They're going to turn out a bit for Bagnoli. At the moment, he's the only goalkeeper we've got. But for Adley, well, I did say no one's off limits here. That's a tough one, nah. Well, we said it. No one off limits. No one off limits here. If a bid comes in, I'm happy to negotiate. And it's a shame because he's a heck of a player, but yeah, I'm happy to negotiate. And it's actually a really decent bid to begin with, but I still think we can squeeze a bit more out of him here. 29 means he's not too old. He's not going to start to show signs of decline just yet. So if we can get around 55 to 60 mil, 60 mil. Nice got the cash to spend, and they want to spend it on Yashin. To be fair, that's a really good sale. Well over market valuation. Perhaps he was homesick and wanted to return to his home country. I guess we'll never know. But to be fair, to get 60 million for a 29-year-old, that's not a bad sale, especially considering we are in the rebuild era right now. I'll take that. That's a good sale for us now. Budget rising even more so. And in terms of that new goalkeeper that we've been looking for, well, there's several names on the shortlist we could go after here. I'll be totally honest, I'm really keen on Thomas Berardi at Chelsea. I've come up against him when we faced Chelsea with Ipswich, and he's obviously got great shot-stopping ability with the 91 reflexes. The only problem is, would he leave Stamford Bridge to come for us? I'm not sure, really. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, of course, Champions League side, and he is their starting goalkeeper. So I don't think this season he'd want to come for us. I think this season we should leave him where he is. I often find if a club is like playing in a higher European competition than you, again, we are currently Europa League, they are Champions League. It's hard to prize them away unless they're a squad player. Berardi's their undisputed number one, and I'm pretty sure he's wearing the captain's armband at times as well. So with that being the case, I think it leaves us to look elsewhere. We could go after the Ukrainian Trubin with Eintracht Frankfurt. I don't think that would be a bad deal at all right now. 28 years old, fantastic goalkeeping stats with the 90 positioning as well. But I said I do want to kind of look for younger goalkeepers. You've got the Belgian Mike Penders who's moved on to Palermo. And there's a couple as well who are playing in England right now that I'm quite keen on, including this lad, Leonardo Michel at Crystal Palace, 21 years old, 6'5", Swiss goalkeeper with 86 kicking, which is really good for our play style playing out from the back. Obviously, Palace, not a European side, and at 21, he's got a lot of room to grow. So even though he is currently 3 ratings lower than Trubin, the fact he's 7 years younger, it's a rebuild. I'm going for the younger player who I perceive may have more potential. I'm going after the Swiss yard. Yeah, I must say, I like to look at this kid. He looks talented, really, really talented. And I don't know whether it's the pre-gen of Gregor Kobel. As we know, pre-gens are very common in this year's crew. But if I can get him for around 35 to 40 million, that still gives us loads of money to... Whoa, okay, all right. Glasner knows. This is a wonder kid of a goalkeeper. I think we have to spend about 43 mil possibly. We'll start with 40 mil to begin with though. And he goes, we'll still have loads of money to work with. That's the thing. And he's saying, no, I'm sticking to the price tag. Okay, fair enough. This kid's clearly got potential, possibly to reach the high 80s or maybe even 90. And for 44 mil, might be quite a bit of money to spend right now. But when you think about the long-term investment, this kid could be a wonder kid. You know, once again, I feel slightly underwhelmed by the lack of perceived potential. But considering the fact he will be our number one for, well, I think probably all the years we're here with Bologna, especially the 5 years he signed a contract for, I do believe he'll exceed the showing great potential tag he's got and become one of the best goalkeepers in world football. I'm excited, and hopefully he lives up to the price tag. Welcome to Bologna, Leonardo Michel. Yeah, 21 years old, and again, the showing great potential tag with what appears to be slow growth is quite disappointing. I'll be totally honest here, but his base stats are really solid for such a young man. And again, I feel confident. That's the thing. When you see holes on the attributes or you see very slow growth, you've got to remember, because of dynamic potential, it doesn't always work out this way, annoyingly, but a lot of the times it will. If you give them consistent game time and if they're in good form for a full season, they'll kickstart the growth, if you will. So I've got no concerns about our new Swiss number one. I'm very excited. You know, I was considering going after this giant Finnish goalkeeper at Freiburg, by the way, but I had a Swansea save last year where two of my best youth players were Finnish. The Rifle, AK-47, and Tattoo Oliver. So I think for youth players, I feel like Finland's got the cult hero status with those two players now. I'm not against bringing Moses' brother alongside him as well, David. I'm not sure he's going to quite live up to the hype of his brother. He's obviously a bit older as well, but when it comes down to footballing brothers, Ethan and Killian, Job and Jude, I mean, I could just bring him along for the ride, right? We do need bodies here, to be fair. So, I think I might just bring him in. Actually, no, with Empoli, you've got this young lad here, Niccolo Bellini. Italian player. Like I said, we do want the Italian core, and 87 stamina is fantastic with great technicals as well. So actually, maybe I'll go for David in a bit if we've got the money left over. But this kid, maybe not quite as good as Sarkisian, but still looks really good. Yeah, got to spend the pennies wisely. So let's not bring someone along for nepotism, Doxy boy, shall we? I mean, honestly. Hey, listen, it works for LeBron and Bronny, but I don't know. I mean, Moses, not quite a LeBron superstardom yet, but maybe one day. Maybe when he gets there, then I'll bring his brother alongside him when he's that good. Honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to fit all these good young pieces into the team, but I'll have to find a way, because he signed an important squad role, coming in on a 5-year, 20 grand a week deal. And maybe I'm not quite as excited with him as I was with the young lad Sarkisian, a few years younger, but the same overall, some solid stats as well. Brilliant technicals too. Welcome to Bologna. Niccolo, Bellini. Yeah, when you look at this guy's stats here, okay, fair enough. The stamina is the one that jumps out at you the most here, but technically as well. Going forward, he's got some brilliant stats, man. 87 ball control, 82 dribbling, 87 long pass, but also 77 finishing, 77 heading's a bit strange considering his height, but 79 short pass, decent too. He's got some really, really solid stats. He'll be coming off the bench to begin with, but again, I've got to find room for him in the team somewhere, because he's still growing, and he looks like a great box-to-box. Is everyone a box-to-box in your mind, Doxy boy? Like, if a player has high enough stamina and they're decent in, most statistics, does that make them automatically a box-to-box? Well, I don't see why not. I mean, I'd say that's probably where he's best at, but yeah, I just don't know how to fit everyone in the team. Again, Lewis Ferguson, like I said, I'm probably considering asking him to come off the bench, but it's a tough one, man. He's got such great first-team quality. You see there on the right, Saka's just gone to Real Madrid. Wow. First time we see him leaving the save from Arsenal. Obviously, he had a tough season last year, finishing in mid-table, so I guess that makes sense, but even so. So into August, we've got about, just under 2 weeks to go into the window, to the first game of the season, but bid there for Dominguez and Wahi as well, who I was going to have a lead on my line this year. Juve going after Benjamin. I had no plans to sell him or Eli. We just brought back Raimondo, to be fair. I might negotiate with Lazio here. Obviously, with Raimondo coming back, I do want to make sure I give him some game time. We've got a young striker that's been loaned out to Elche by the AI manager last year. I'm tempted to just recall him, to be fair, because he's 79 overall at 20 years old. I see him possibly being the star striker in this team for years to come. So with Eli, 27, certainly not old, but I did say I'm not against making this side even younger. Cancellieri is a decent winger, to be fair. Excellent body on him and a good technical player. It's not actually that bad of a deal just on its own, really. I still think with Eli with 2 years left on his deal, we can probably get a bit more money. So why don't we go 25 mil and we'll get Cancellieri in return, who, again, is around the same valuation. So that'll take us about 50 combined. So I think that'll be a decent deal for us, to be fair. And they say no. Okay. I don't want the sell-on clause. I don't want the sell-on clause. I never like to negotiate with sell-on clauses because you can't keep track of them. That's the problem, So 23 mil plus Matteo. And okay, we can meet somewhere in the middle. Let's go 22.5 mil. I'm pretty sure Lazio won't back out of that. And that, to me, would be a decent deal for both parties. I trust Raimondo to lead our line. I don't think we need both he and Wahi, so I'm okay with this deal. Yep, Eli Wahi is a great young striker in this game. With Raimondo coming back and my eyes on that young Spanish lad out on loan right now, we're not going to need all three of them for the long term. So one had to go, and in the end, Eli is the lad we let go of. And for £24 million, I think it was, plus a decent winger as as well, who's only 27 too. This is actually quite a decent deal for both parties here. So I'm excited to get him, excited to use him. 5-year deal, 40 grand a week contract. Welcome to Bologna, Matteo Cancellieri. And again, 28 years old, and when you look at the guy's stats here, he's still getting better. So could possibly reach maybe 82, 83, possibly at a stretch 84 as well before he maxes out. The stamina is, of course, a concern, but technically, this guy's got some fantastic stats. Look at that, 87 dribbling, 85 ball control, 81 crossing with 83 long shots and 81 shot power as well. To put it plainly, this is a really decent winger on that right or left-hand side with the left foot as well. Again, my only concern is the stamina. So I think I'll leave him on balance to get all the stats up gradually. But yeah, this is a decent deal for both parties here. I love those deals where both clubs get a good deal, you know? You often see it in the NBA, like when a trade happens, everyone's like, who won the trade? Who won the trade? Who got the better deal of the parties here? I love it when it's a mutually beneficial deal. I like it when everyone's happy, yeah. So, yeah, for me, I think this is a good deal for all parties here, especially if us going through the rebuild right now. To go with Raimondo coming in, he'd obviously be leading our line. And for Cancellieri, well, we still haven't made our mind up with Dominguez yet. I don't really want to sell him, but if he does go, we've got Cancellieri to come in, and I can swap he and Hassan around so they can both cut in and shoot on their preferred fee. Alright, okay, I don't mind that. We might seem to be taking like a slight step back in terms of quality with the sales of Koleosho and Wahi there as well, but it's one step backwards for steps forward in the future. That's the way you got to look at it. Buy into the vision here. Why does it say negotiate with Cancellieri? I've already done it. I've already... Oh, the Dominguez deal broke down. I didn't negotiate in time. That's a shame. I was actually going to consider selling him there. But I tell you what, Ipswich are in an absolute clear out right now. I mean, seriously, they've lost Adley, they've just lost Georgie, and now Luca's going as well. I might hijack this deal and tell him to come to me. Yeah, you got to see this, man. Ipswich are having an absolute clear out. It's a fire sale at Portman Road. Adley's gone to Manchester United. Georgie's gone to Chelsea, I've just seen. And yeah, they're about to sell Koleosho as well. They've brought in DeMarco. Inafio's still there for now, to be fair. And they still have retained quite a few of their stars, but they're definitely starting to cut a few players. To be fair, it was a full squad, but even so, if they are going to sell Koleosho, Leipzig are a Europa League side like us, so if he's willing to go to a Europa League side, why not come and play under your former gaffer, mate? Why not play under your former manager? And yeah, I did just catch that. 89 rated Liam Delap and an 89 rated president as well. I can see why they sold Georgie and Adley now. They've had those overall spikes after leaving. Sometimes you might notice that does happen. Like when you leave a club, some of your former players have an overall spike. I guess they just needed to see the gaffer leave for them to reach their full potential. So, right, let's go into a valuation bid of 40 mil. We've got plenty of money to work with over the budget, but if it's having a fire sale right now, yeah, I don't think they'll hold us to ransom. I really don't. If they're willing to cut a lot of the squad off, I don't think they're going to hold us to ransom even for star players. So, 40.5 mil. And, okay, we'll try and meet in the middle of 41 mil. And we'll have Hassan and Koleosho, the tractor boys, linking up with Bologna on either flank. Possibly with Cancellieri coming off the bench. Why not? Yep, if you're going to leave the Champions League winners and go to a Europa League side, you might as well go somewhere you got a personal connection. As Italian players, we're trying to build that Italian core, another one to add to the collection. And a player I've worked with before, yep, he fits a lot of boxes and he certainly ticks a lot of checks. What? Does that make sense? Kind of. Even so, reunite with him once again, just like Moses Hassan. Glad to have him back. He's a star player, and he's just getting better. Welcome to Bologna. Luca, Warwick, Koleosho, and again at 25 years old, 84 overall, and still getting better. Yeah, this Bologna side didn't really have that many Italian players when we joined here, but you know, I do like to sign players that have the same nationality as the country we're managing in. I do like a bit of a club and country feel, eh? Club and country, eh? But, the return, Doxy boy. When? Even so, he's in. And just like Cancellieri, lack of strength, concern. Everywhere else, not a concern. This guy is a baller. Is it over for club and country? I mean, is it finished, Doxy boy? Are we ever going to see another one again? Honestly. Maybe, you never know. But, yeah, Luca coming in. And, yeah, that means for Cancellieri, either he'll come off the bench... Or, you know, I don't know. I could possibly play him through the middle. That's the thing. I could possibly play him slightly deeper. But the lack of strength does obviously concern me quite a lot. But yeah, I mean, for now, the team's looking good. It's looking all right. I'm ready for the season to start. So many new signings. I'm ready for the season to start. To be fair, I might make just one more signing because the squad is still quite light. And to be fair, Bologna is going to have some class players, but practically, well, not all of the core, but a lot of the core is left in this save. But what I'd like to bring back is the Inter Milan Academy grad who left to Bologna as a young man and is now starting to kick on. He's left to Real Betis in the save. It's Giovanni Fabian, but his stats are phenomenal, man. 27 years old. Excellent stamina with 83, great mental stats, excellent reading of the game and positional sense too, but technically as well. 81 lawn pass, 87 short pass, lawn pass, what's he doing, playing bowls? Long pass, short pass, stand tackle, long shots, ball control and dribbling as well. Yeah, a few Bologna players have left. I'm not going to bring them all back, but I'm definitely bringing Giovanni back. He's a baller. I wonder if we can swap out one of the players we've got no use for, man. I mean, obviously, Okonkwo isn't retiring yet, but it's 68 overall, 32 so we got no use for him really. So I'm trying to get a couple of players' salaries off the books, but no bids are coming in. I'd like to keep Son as a vet, but for Okonkwo, I don't mind him going 40 mil. Plus the forward, and Betis say no, they want Ferguson. But whilst we are trying to make our side younger, not Lewis Ferguson, man. Ever since he joined Bologna, he's taken to life in Italy like a fish to water. He's staying with me till retirement. Thing is, though, the tension bar in the top right is barely filled up. And I often say a little tip for those that are new to Karima: when you're doing transfer negotiations, take note of the tension bar. If it fills up quickly, it means that clubs aren't happy with you and they want to get the negotiations out of the way straight away. But if it rarely fills up, they're more than willing to be a bit more flexible than if it fills up quickly. So, is there anyone we could give them? Anyone we could give them possibly to soften the transfer fee? Moro's retiring, of course. I think probably not. So in that case, we'll just go over £41 million bid. Only 3 mil over the market valuation. I'd still like a little bit of money remaining to work with, but again, that's because the tension bar barely filled up. I probably could have gone with 40 mil and still got it accepted. Even so, 41 mil is a steal now. Yep, it's a staple of the vast majority of my saves. I like to build a core of players that can play for the same nationality as the club. And joining here at Bologna, I think the chairman probably knew. You know, that is something I like to do, and Bologna had lost their identity a little bit. Not many Italian players when I arrived, but there's certainly quite a few more now. Our last 3 signings have all been Italian, including this one here. Yeah, welcome back to Bologna for £41 million, signing a 5-year, 50 grand a week deal. Giovanni Fabian, and again, this guy's got some really solid stats. Again, he does seem capped out a little bit with an 84 overall, and just 27. I still think he's going to get a little bit better as well. So I love the new core we're building here at Bologna. And again, these are slightly younger players than ones we had. These guys right now in their mid-20s, and yes, I'm going to say mid-20s at 27, but mid-20s. I'll keep them on balance. All the stats go up gradually, but this guy's got green in practically every single area. That is my sort of player. Question is, though, again, how do I fit all these players into the team? That's the problem. Yep, 10 new signings, and really, everyone's going to want to start. Like, no one's come in here thinking, oh yeah, I'll take some minutes in rotation off the bench. No, everyone's going to want to start. And so obviously Urbanski's still on that long-term injury, but Fabian's not going to be satisfied sitting on the bench. I'm going to ask Lewis Ferguson, now coming into his 30s, to take a 6-man role, or a 12-man role, I guess, in football. But yeah, it's tough. I need to get everyone involved, really. And again, the youngsters we've brought in, such as Bellini and Sarkisian, I definitely want to make sure they get enough game time to develop. But to be fair, I'm liking how the team's looking now. Again, a bit more of an identity to it. It's gotten a bit younger with, again, the likes of Michel and Sarkisian and Bellini and Hassan as well. Yeah, I'm ready for the season to start. Still a bit of money remaining, but I'm ready for the season. Why do I still have that negotiate with Cancellieri task? I've done it. Mate, he's already here. Like, he's already here, mate. He's only here. So yeah, 10 new signings then. Again, I just love how it's looking, man. Okay, fair enough, we brought in Sarkisian and Hassan and Michel as well, but all the other players being Italian, or players that can represent Italy, That's what you get with me as a manager, man. I like to build those kind of cores, and it's looking good. I'm really liking how we're building this team, man. As the identity is starting to take shape. So let's jump into our first game of the season, and on the island of Sardinia, as Ipswich Town have just won the Super Cup. Yep, they couldn't do it with me last year. I bottled it, and now they're, where is it? I've lost it. Where's it gone? Yep, there it is, the Super Cup. Ipswich beating Bilbao to win their first in history. And looking to retain the Champions League. We won't be seeing them this season, but guys, I want you to win it. And I want you to win the Premier League as well, man. Generally, even though I couldn't do it, I'm not going to feel bitter if you do it without me. No, I want to see it done, man. I want to see domestic honours in the Portman Road cabinet. So, yeah, let's jump into our first game. Island of Sardinia, Cagliari away from home. Looking for a perfect start to the season with our new look Bologna team. 10 new signings, most of which will get some game time in the season opener. And again, the board have said, finish in the top 4, qualify for the Champions League. We want to be back in the big time for next season. That is my aim as well. Let's start off with 3 points on match day 1. Come on, Bologna. No, Forza Bologna. As who takes the armband. They're giving it Kovacevic, that Croatian centre-half that was here when we joined. New gen. Don't think he's a regen of anyone. So new gen in his early 20s and good enough to probably play in most Champions League teams. But no, he's going to buy into the rebuild with us. And he'll get the armband as well. Perhaps a new legend in the making. Well, not if he gets beaten like that. Oh my god. It's not an ideal start. It's not an ideal start. Weak defending, easy finish, Cagliari in front. Oh my god. Well, we know we're not going to hit the ground running to the point where, you know, we'll win like 8 of 9 games to start the season off and be title contenders, but I don't particularly want to start off with a loss on match day 1. Yeah, never a great sign for a manager to lose their first game of the tenure. I mean, you know, talk about putting your worst foot forward. There's Kayode, plays a good through ball. There's Raimondo and Antonio. Raimondo almost got the leveller. Simone with the save and cleared away. Plenty of time. But plenty of time to find an equaliser. I'm not panicking. Zaluski with Hassan on the overlap. He'll slide through the Tanzanian winger. And it's Moses. And it's Moses. And it's Moses shot blocked. And it's prevented from going out for a corner. It'll drop to Sarkisian. Go on, have a dig. Have a dig. You got space, son. Oh, what a start. I said I'm feeling this Armenian kid. I definitely am. He has got some talent, and that is the way to start your new career with a new team. That is a bullet, mate. What a strike. Goodness, I thought if the space is there, might as well just have a dig. Why not? No one in front of you to pass to. Sarkisian, what an effort. The only Armenian player I can think of is Mkhitaryan. Like, he's the only Armenian player I actually know of, which, please don't come for me, Armenian fans, but I can't think of anyone else playing top level football. But of course, with Mkhitaryan at Inter, I guess he must be their regen. But I thought Mkhitaryan was listed as a CAM, not a CM. But ball, Raimondo. Oh, Raimondo! Raimondo! Oh, I forgot he's left-footed. Is he? I thought he was right-footed. Well, he went with the left, and that should have been chewing to. Is he? I thought he was right-footed. No, he is left. Okay, well that's something I should have probably known before I went through one-on-one. Good turnaround. They're on top right now. Don't want that half-time whistle to come. I really should have won this game. That's a missed opportunity on match day 1. But you could say fair play for battling back and claiming something, but being a perfectionist that I am, I know that is a missed opportunity to claim a win in my first game in charge. Positives though, did play some good football, got a couple of good chances, scored a cracker of a goal as well, and a lot to build on heading into match day 2. 10 new signings. Sometimes when you're rebuilding, it takes time for a new core to gel. First game, positives, man. If not, all 3 points. But that'll do it for the episode, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, then please do drop a like. Myself to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode. More games in this area. I would have the draw for the Europa League phase and the remainder of the summer window. With over 30 mil in the budget, despite 10 new signings already, I still think we might see 1 or 2 more new arrivals. Have a fantastic day, guys. Much love. And I'll see you for the next episode very soon.